Hello, Bendy19 here, and today I just watched The Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, and I think it was pretty good. I liked it. The friend I was watching it at the time, thought, mixed about it. He had some, issues with it, which are, understandable, like, it wasn't, perfect, but I think, it was enjoyable enough. You know, definitely, gonna be excited to watch it again and see other people's reactions to some of the stuff in it, because there are a lot of stuff that I'm like, there are a lot of surprising stuff in it, yeah, I don't want to give any, I don't want to do, a spoiler, I don't want to do a spoiler section, as, I feel like just go and watch it yourself, if you haven't already, and, also, I feel like just go into the movie without, thinking about, other people's opinions, even mine. Just go into it, with your own, mindset, and, come out with your own, opinion on the movie, because sometimes, people can, sort of ruin it if you, see a bunch of, stuff online saying, hey, it's, terrible and all that, and you might go into the movie thinking, oh, it's gonna be, trash, but in the end, it's not that bad. And I saw some videos, set, the thumbnails, saying that, it's lackluster and all that, and I kind of disagree. A lot of stuff happens, and yeah, I don't know, I just enjoyed it. I'd probably rate it a 7 out of 10 for me. There are some parts that it could do a bit better on, and there are some parts that I'm oh, wow, okay, don't know, that's how it's gonna turn out. Parts in there. But yeah, I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it. I even got the popcorn bucket. As you could probably see on my post, I took a picture with my Pomni plush. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep this video short. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's not perfect, but it's it's watchable. And there are a lot of stuff that I really liked in it. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the Amazing Jill Circus Last Act. Hopefully, Glitch does more of these movie theaters, finales for their other shows. Because seriously, it's such a special thing just seeing the Glitch productions logo on the big screen. Is just, I don't know, it's something so special. That's something on YouTube. Because I was here, I watched Glitch when they first released Meta Runner, the first episode of Meta Runner. And I even remember watching a video, talking about the behind the scenes and talking about some deleted scenes and all that. And I never thought that Glitch would become this big, where it has multiple shows. It's literally becoming a place for people to sort of have some sort of hope for making their own shows, and get the support they need and creative control that they need, that big Hollywood studios don't allow because they're too afraid of risk. And just sort of help out the indie space, because the whole argument on is Glitch indie, blah blah blah. To me, I still think it is indie, but even then, who cares if it's not indie? Who cares if it is indie or not? What matters is what Glitch as a company is doing to help out people that have ideas but don't, have the support, or the budget, or like, the accessibility to make what they want to make. And with Glitch, they go to these people and like, they ask, hey, do you have any shows, show ideas, you want to make? And it just, happens. And I mean, it's just something so special, of like a company like Glitch just, taking a risk on a creator that, probably, is like new to like script writing, for like a actual show. And they somehow managed to put it off. And it just shows that taking more risks, can be more beneficial, because at least you're trying to like, do new things. Like for example, A24, like they took a risk on Kane Pixels, like trusting him and giving him the control to make a full-length movie of the backgrounds, that I think he did a pretty good job on. Okay, I mean, seriously, like I can't see any other way to make a backrooms movie other than his version. And that paid off for A24, and so did Glitch, having Gooseworks like create the show, that blew up, and that was a success. Just taking that risk, and also just giving the creator full creative control can give you a lot of success. Unlike Invis, which I'm thinking of just making a video about the scary toilet situation and like Boom's new series and all that, and just keep railing in on Invis, as they are literally the definition of Hollywood greed and corpo, like just yeah, like honestly, just don't get me started on invisible narratives. They are just scumbags. Okay, I feel like I went on a big rant. I was supposed to end this like a couple minutes ago. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the finale of The Amazing Joe Circus. Hopefully, I will have a video out next weekend, hopefully. I want to do more stuff, use my green screen, use my clothes, my suit, my mask, all that, and keep, try and make better videos than just videos I complete in a day, because I really, really want to just push. I really want to grow my channel, which means, I'm also gonna do less shorts, because I don't want to be a shorts channel. I want to, do like long videos. I'll probably post like a short, like if I have an idea for an edit or something. But I want to focus on more long form videos. But yeah, bye.